Okay, this is another tool video. I wasn't planning on it, but I had to get the through Pittsburgh 21-piece through socket set. The reason I got it is because I was working on my timing belt on the 85 MR2, and I needed to get into the really tight spot where the timing belt is, and I needed something shallow, more shallow than the ratchets that I already have. So I thought of this one because actually this one came in very handy on the idler for the timing belt and the AC compressor. So it worked pretty well. I mainly used a 14 socket on that one. There is one downside that I found out about this particular ratchet, and it's not necessarily okay, it's not a problem with it, it's just something that I noticed. The metal handle does not go all the way to the back on this apparently, and that's a problem because when I was really tightening those bolts, I could actually feel the flex on the end here. So I believe this is the other newer version that they have, but that did not feel really good when I was doing that, because I could definitely feel the flex on that end piece here. Other than that, I just put some 3-in-1 oil, and that definitely helped a little bit, but make it less notchy, I guess you can say. Other than that, it works fine. As you can see, it's dirty because I already used it. But that's the only thing I did not like about it. When I was trying to get a good grip on that, I could feel that flex, and it just didn't feel too safe, because I didn't want my hand slipping. But you know, if that breaks, then yeah, there goes your knuckle. But yeah, you can definitely feel that when you tighten that. So hopefully they will correct that and make the metal go all the way to the bottom of the ratchet to make it really sturdy piece in that sense. I've only used the 14 on this one. The other thing I want to mention about this particular set is that it is made in Taiwan. At least for this one, it is made in Taiwan. I don't know if this camera will catch it because I have that small LCD, so it's hard for me to see through it, but this is the only camera that's actually working at the moment. And the other thing, the set basically comes with 2 screws on the bottom here that holds the whole piece here. And I'll be honest, this is like the worst freaking storage that you'll ever have, but everything just falls off. So it would probably be better if they had him standing up on something with a cover. I don't know, maybe I'll 3D print some case for it, because as soon as you open it, this thing just kind of fall off. Right now I pushed them all the way, but see, as you can see, that was already going. So as far as the packaging, it works for selling them, but for storing them, this thing is really annoying. The other only issue that I found so far, I think they're all right, not that one, is the socket, the one that I used, which was the 14. Everything else is labeled correctly. And you can see the, here, let me get a couple on these. You can see the numbers on them pretty well. Where is it? On the side, yeah, right there. 18 3/4. So those are fine, and everything else seems okay. But my number 14, the stamping is like right on the edge here, so you don't even have a number on here, as you can see. I know it's a 14 because that's the one I've used, but I guess somebody forgot to do their quality control, because they just said as long as the socket's fine, they didn't care. I mean, socket is fine, but kind of would be nice that number was on it. You know, just one of those things. But this is so far the only socket, I think, that doesn't have the stamping on it. As you can see, let me see if I can get a good shot here. I can see it, but I can't see the details on on my LCD again, so I apologize for that. But so they only go through that side because it's around here. So yeah, this what do you call it? The storage is, yeah, it's pretty bad. They just fall out no matter what. So right now I just kept it like that. I mean, it's nice to have storage, but obviously you're not gonna be screwing that on enough all the time. So I just left the screw. Actually, what I did was, so I didn't lose the screws, I put the screws inside there so that I could have access to it. And like you can see, there's another one that just fell out. I mean, kind of minor thing, but very annoying, as you can see. Come on. So let me put this back. And basically that's what I wanted to cover, just kind of give you my take on that, since I did use this one quite a bit on the car there, because I had probably, I don't know, that much space between the actual water pump and the parts. Well, it was a little more depending on where I was, but yeah, this one came really handy because of the thickness on here. And actually I didn't even put one of the sockets, so let me use this one. Another thing I found out, on this one you have both the adapter for, let me see if I can get it right. So you put this on, you have a 3/8 ratchet, so you can make it a 3/8 ratchet. Although I wouldn't even want to use it. I mean, you can, but because of the flex at the end, I'll have to check and see in a minute, see if I can find the magnet to check that. I think I might have one, but I don't know. Anyways, on the other side you do have the hex or the bits holder, so you can use that, which is nice because I didn't have one of those. Not that I have needed one, but I wasn't sure what that was until I put it on here. So that's kind of neat. And you know, just to pop it out, you just push it in. It's not bad. The thing I did find on this one though, it's easier to, it seems like it's easier to take it out. It just pops up, pops out, and you'd think it would be the other way around. It'd be easier to keep it in there and then not pop out as easily as it does. As you can see, it's a little harder to pop it in, but it just slides out. So sometimes if you're not careful, it'll just pop out on you. So other than that, that's pretty much it for this socket set. I'm not gonna go too much into it. I mean, that's just my experience with using it for a little bit. Catus Maximus actually did a video on these and shows you the different versions versus, or this one versus the old one, and how they changed that. I do like the ratchet, I just didn't like that flex. It was just a little much for what I was doing, and it was just 2 bolts that I needed it on. Now moving on to the next thing, I wanted to get a spark plug socket, a new one, because my my EP Auto set, that one I did a video on a while back, I like that set because again, it's like this one, SAE and metric on the same little set, but even though it has a 5/8, it doesn't have a spark plug socket. So I stopped by AutoZone and I got this one, and the reason I got this one is because actually it does have a magnet. That blue piece right there is actually like a plastic, so that covers your spark plug as well, so you're not gonna break it that easily, I hope. As far as the magnet, it works pretty well, and this is what it is. And so the reason I want to show you that is, obviously it's just a 5/8 socket, so not a big deal. But this thing here, so for some reason people have a hard time taking those out, I don't know, or they find that to be impossible to take out. Here's what you do: just use a screwdriver, Phillips, it goes right through the hole. Get another screwdriver, tap it, boom, it's out. No cutting, no nothing. The instructions actually say cut here, but you don't need to do that. Just pop it with the screwdriver from the other side, and that's it. There's your socket. And as you can see, it pops right back in. If I want it back in there, well, it doesn't want to do that, but see, it's locked in there again. Just a quick tip, that's all. There it goes. done. You don't have to get any cutters or anything. Just get to your screwdriver or Phillips that will fit through the hole, and you're good. You're golden. And now I can put this socket where my other 5/8 socket is and just exchange it with the spark plug socket, and now I'm complete on that set. I don't know if I can put it on the side, but I think I'm gonna have to just replace it, and that's fine. I just want to get a socket in there for the spark plugs, but this one's magnetic and it's definitely a lifetime warranty, guaranteed for life. It's a 6-point. The item number is 52-133, and this one, it is actually made in Taiwan, as you can see, or not, but that's what it is. So that's pretty much it for now. I'm just gonna leave it at that because there's not much else to say other than that. So I'm gonna have to go back to what is it, Harbor Freight, just to get hopefully just that socket. I don't need to change everything. Everything seems fine, I think. I'll have to go through them, but everything looks good so far. I hope that helps. Alright, quick tip on the go through socket set. I went ahead and put back the 2 screws on here so that it doesn't open on me. And what I just noticed is that if you need a socket, don't even bother opening it from there so you don't lose all your sockets. Just do this. Just pull that and pull the socket you need, and you can do it that way. That's a little harder, but it works. That way your sockets stay in place. It's still a pain, but there you go. I just thought I'd mention that before I close the other video or try to edit anything. But just a little tip. I'm gonna try and get that one socket change, and that's pretty much it. I did want one of these pass-through socket sets a while back. I didn't know where I was gonna use it, but as you saw in the previous video that I just did, it actually works pretty well in very tight spaces. So there you go.